ಸಂಸಾರದಾವ ನಲನಿದಲೋಕ ಪ್ರಣಯ ಗಣ ಗಣತ್ವಂ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಗಣ ಗಣತ್ವಂ ಸಂಸಾರದಾವ ನಲನಿದಲೋಕ ಪ್ರಣಯ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಗಣ ಗಣತ್ವಂ ಲೋಕ ಪ್ರಣಯ ಕಾರುಣ್ಯ ಗಣ ಗಣತ್ವಂ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಸ್ಯ ಕಲ್ಯಾಣ ಗುಣರ್ನವಸ್ಯ ವಂದೇ ಗುರೋ ಶ್ರೀಚರಣಾರವಿಂದಂ महाप्रभो कीर्तन रुच गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना ओ कीर्तन रुच गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चकाम्पा श्रुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं रोमाञ्चकाम्पा श्रुतरङ्गबाजो वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं श्रीविग्रहाराधननित्यानाना शृङ्गारतनमन्दिरमर्जनादौ युक्तस्य भक्तं शनियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं युक्तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादौ स्वादन्नतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादो स्वादन्नतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गान् कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नां राधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नां प्रतीक्षणा स्वाधनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं निकुञ्जयो नो रतिकेलिसेध्याय यायालिभिर्युक्तेरपेक्षणीया तत्र त्रिदाक्षादतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणारविन्दं साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव शब्दिः समस्तशास्त्रे उक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव शब्दिः किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रैरुक्तस्तथा भाव्यत एव शब्दिः किन्तु प्रभोर्या प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादान्न गति कुतोऽपि ध्यायन्तु वांसस्य यशस्त्रीसन्ध्यां वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् ध्यायन्तु वांसस्य यशस्त्रीसन्ध्यां वन्दे गुरो श्रीचरणरविन्दम् नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद चैतन्य नित्यानंद अद्वैत गदाधर जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद कृष्ण चैतन्य नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Yadavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohana Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohana Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita Nityananda Sri Advaita Gita Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunada Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunada Sanatana Bhatta Raghunada Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunatha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Ram Ram Hare. Jayo Radha Nila Madhav, Radha Nila Madhav, Shri Radhe. Nila Madhav, Shri Radhe. Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Jagannatha, Jayo Baladeva, Jayo Subhadra. Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Subhadra. Jayo Sitaram, Jayo Sitaram, Jayo Sitaram, Jayo Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Sitaram, Jayo Sitaram, Jayo Lakshman Hanuman. Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Lakshmi Narasimha, Jayo Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Om Shri Pad Brahmamsa Prajaka Acharya Shtota Shata Shishima Divine Grace. Aparachana Rinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Bhaktivedanta Institute Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pada Brahmamsa Prajaka Acharya Ashtota Shata Shishima Divine Grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridasa Ki Jai. Premi se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Maya Pradam Ki Jai. Purushottama Chaitra Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samavrita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari. All glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to the assembled devotees, all glory to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glory to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadadayine. Praladadadayine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Shilatanka Nakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha. Yato yato yamitato Narasimha. बहिर्नसिंहो हृदये नरसिंहो नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरेणकाम् अद्भुतसिंगां दालिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गाम् केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव भक्ता प्रहलाद जयो भक्ता प्रहलाद जयो भक्ता प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की जय
Namo Namaha Tulasi Krishna Priyasi Namo Namaha Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Eya Philashi Radha Krishna Seva Prabhu Eya Philashi Yeto mara sharanalo Tara vancha purna ho Kripa kori koro tare Vrindavana vasi Morae abhilas Vilas kunje diovas Morae abhilas Vilas kunje diovas Nayane heri bosada Yugala ruparashi Nivedanataro Sakira nugata koro Sevadhikara diye koro nijadasi Sevadhikara diye koro nijadasi Lina Krishna dase koi namo rahoi Lina Krishna dase koi namo rahoi Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Shri Radha Govinda preme sadayena bhasi Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namaha Yani kani cha papani Paramahatyadikani cha Tani tani pranashanti Pradakshina pade pade Yani kani cha papani Brahmahatyadikani cha Tani tani pranashanti Pradakshina pade pade Yani kani cha papani Brahmahatyadikani cha Tani tani pranasyanti Pradakshina pade pade Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Tulsi Maharani, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde, Jaya Vrinde. Vrindaya Tulasi Devaya Piyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devaya Piyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulasi Devaya Piyaya Keshava Sacha Vishnu Bhakti Pade Devi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Oh Tulasi, beloved Krishna, I bow down before you again and again. My desire within the service of Shri Radha and Krishna. Where we take shelter of you has wished fulfilled. Bestow mercy upon him and make him a resident of Vrindavana. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shri Vrindavana Dham. Thus within my vision I shall always behold the beautiful paths of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me follower of the cowherd dancer Virgil. Please give me the privileged devotional service and make me your own maid servant. This very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna praise. May I always swim in the love Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. There are 10 offenses in the matter of chanting holy name to be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of the demigods or Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Veda literature or literature in pursuance of Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna one of the auspicious ritual activities, offering the Vedas fruit activities, karma, kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses. In order to quickly achieve desired success, Krishna Prema. Now let us offer most humble obeisance unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as I trees who can fulfill to everyone. They are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Pavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Kairavachantrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Sadhanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakali Bahuta Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha Etadishi Tava Kripa Bhagavam Mamapi Durudevami Desham Yahajani Nanuragaha Trinatapi Sunijena Tarorapi Saishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sada Harihi Na Thanam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavidam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Jamani Jamanishvare Pavata Bhaktir Haituki Tvai Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Puto Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Turi Satwesham Vichintaya Nayanam Galadashuru Daraya Vatanam Gadgada Rudaya Gira Pulaka Nichitam Vapurkada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishati Yuga Itam Nimishena Chakshusha Pravisha Itam Shunya Itam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahena Me Ashirishava Padaratam Pinnashtumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karotuva Yatha Tatha Va Vidatatu Lampato Matprana Natastu Se Eva Na Paraha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all that does accumulate for years and extinguishes fire conditional life for repeated births and deaths. This Sankirtana is prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads a rays and benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendent knowledge. It increases the ocean transcendent bliss and enables us to fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. Oh my Lord, your holy name alone grant all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds of millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out kindness enables us to easily approach you by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me at one ardent and lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears, love flowing constant when I chant the holy name, while my voice choke up, or the hairs my body stand and a recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation and consider the moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and shall remain so, even he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything, everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Charana Prayers Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tatati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pachadadesha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshapanivi Devi Daitaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prapavin Namaha Madhuryo Chala Premadya Shrupa Nuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dina Tarine Rupanuga Viruta Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaurakishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipalambara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumistwan Nirtishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarupishcha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karna Sindho Dinapanto Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Srator Pango Mamamanda Matergati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Vindalana Kaupadumadaha Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shimadra Shila Govinda Devo Pishtari Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shiman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsi Vata Tata Sitaha Karsham Venu Snair Gopir Gopinatha Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangalacharna prayers ki jai. Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai. So since it's Durga Puja day, we'll just chant 5 extra verses to verse 44. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradia Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukha Praviksha Lakshariteshu Surabhi Rabi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venung Kavanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Parharvatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandarpa Goti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chantaka Lasa Vanamada Vamshi Ranang Kadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Lalitam Yata Prakasham Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Anganiyasya Sakalendriya Viddimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimma Sadujila Vigrahasya Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Muni Pangavanam Sopiasti Yaprapada Simya Vichinta Tatve Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sora Chaitum Jagatanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagatanta Jayayatanta Antantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yad Bhava Bhavitadiyo Manujasta Deva Samprapya Rupa Mahimasanayana Bhushaha Suktaryam Eva Nikama Patitaistu Vanti Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ananda Chimma Rasa Patibhavitabi Starpiya Evan Jarupa Daya Kalabi Goloka Eva Nivasati Kilatma Bhutto Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Bhimanjana Churuta Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sateva Hitayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanya Mena Tishtan Nanavatarama Karo Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samapavat Parama Pumam Yo Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yasya Prabha Bhavato Jagatanta Koti Koti Shesha Visudadi Vibhuti Binam Tat Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Maya Hi Yasya Jagatanta Shatani Sute Trigunya Tad Vishaya Veda Vitayamana Sattva Valambi Parasatvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ananda Chimma Rasatma Taya Manasu Ya Praninam Patipalan Samaratam Upedya Lila Idena Bhuvanani Jayate Jasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Golokanamni Nijatamni Talichatasya Devi Mahesha Haridam Suteshu Teshu Te Te Prabhavanchaya Vihitasya Yena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Shishti Siti Palaya Sadhana Shakti Reka Chaye Vayasya Bhuvanani Piparti Duga Ichana Rupam Apyasya Cheshtite Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and is the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, yielding all desire, in abodes built with spiritual gems, surrounded by millions of purpose trees, always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is adept in playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with heads decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging the garland of flowers beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in the pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Shama Sundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of the transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but are obtainable by pure, unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha, yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinction between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him and is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe, at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval Lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas, by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveniences, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency, possessed of the 64 artistic activities, in the company of her confidants, Sakis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is Shama Sundara. Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avtaras in the world in the forms of Rama, Narsimha, Vamana, etc., as his subjective portions.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, whose effulgence is the source of the non-differentiated Brahman mentioned in the Upanishads, being differentiated from the infinity of glories of the mundane universe, appears as the indivisible, infinite, limitless truth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is the absolute substantive principle, being the ultimate entity in the form of the support of all existence, whose external potency embodies the threefold mundane qualities, that is sattva, rajas, and tamas, and diffuses the Vedic knowledge regarding the mundane world.
I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, whose glory ever triumphantly dominates the mundane world by the activity of his own pastimes, being reflected in the mind of recollecting souls as a transcendental entity of ever blissful cognitive rasa.
Lowest of all is located Devi Dhama, mundane world. Next above it is Mahesha Dhama, abode of Mahesha. Above Mahesha Dhama is placed Haridhama, abode of Hari. And above them all is located Krishna's own realm named Goloka. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, who has allotted their respective authorities to the rulers of those graded realms.
The external potency Maya, who is of the nature of the shadow of the Chit potency, is worshipped by all people as Durga, the creating, preserving, and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself.
Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Srinvatam swakata Krishna punyasravana kirtanaha hridayanta histo hi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayeshva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta eter anavidam sitam sattve prasidati evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते विद्यते हृदयग्रन्थिश्छिद्यन्ते सर्वसमस्याः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टावेवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes unleavened by devotional service, and understands the science of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the stage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead, Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the science of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita 15.16. Dva imau purushau loke kshara eva cha kshara sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchyate. Dvau, two. Two, imau, these, purushau, living entities, loke, in the world, kshara, fallible, cha, and akshara, infallible, eva, certainly, cha, and kshara, fallible, sarvani, all, bhutani, living entities, kutasta, in oneness, akshara, infallible, uchyate is said. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In this material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As already explained, the Lord in his incarnation as Vyasadeva compiled the Vedanta Sutra. Here, the Lord is giving in summary the contents of the Vedanta Sutra. He says that the living entities who are innumerable can be divided into two classes, the fallible and the infallible. The living entities are eternally separated parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When they are in contact with the material world, they are called Jiva Bhuta, and the Sanskrit words given here, Kshara Sarvani Bhutani, mean that they are fallible. Those who are in oneness with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, are called infallible. Oneness does not mean that they have no individuality, but there is no disunity. They are all agreeable to the purpose of the creation. Of course, in the spiritual world, there is no such thing as creation. But since the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as stated in the Vedanta Sutra, is the source of all emanations, that conception is explained. According to the statement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, there are two classes of living entities. The Vedas give evidence of this. So there is no doubt about it. The living entities who are struggling in this world with the mind and five senses have their material bodies, which are changing. As long as the living entity is conditioned, his body changes due to contact with matter. Matter is changing, so the living entity appears to be changing. But in the spiritual world, the living entity is not made of matter. Therefore, there is no change. In the material world, the living entity undergoes six changes: birth, growth, duration, reproduction, then dwindling and vanishing. These are the changes of the material body. But in the spiritual world, the body does not change. There is no old age, there is no birth, there is no death. There all exists in oneness. Shara Sarvani Bhutani. Any living entity who has come in contact with matter, beginning from the first created being Brahma down to a small ant, is changing its body. Therefore, they are all fallible. In the spiritual world, however, they are always liberated in oneness.
उत्तमा पुरुषस्तु अन्या परमात्मे उदाहरता यो लोकोत्तरम आविषया बिभर्ति अव्य ईश्वरा. Uttama, the best, Purusha, personality, two, but, Anya, another, Parama, the supreme, Atma, self, Iti, thus, Udaharata is said, Ya, who, Loka of the universe, Trayam, the three divisions, Avishya, entering, Bibharti is maintaining, Avya, inexhaustible, Ishvara, the Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.Z. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them. The idea of this verse is very nicely expressed in the Kathopanishad and Shvetashvatara Upanishad. It is clearly stated there that above the innumerable living entities, some of whom are conditioned and some of whom are liberated, there is the Supreme Personality who is the Paramatma. The Upanishadic verse runs as follows: Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The purport is that amongst all living entities, both conditioned and liberated, there is one Supreme Living Personality, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who maintains them and gives them all the facility of enjoyment according to different work. That Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. A wise man who can understand him is eligible to attain perfect peace, not others.
Bhagavad Gita 15.18. Yasmat sharam atitoham aksharad apikchotamaha atosmi loke vedecha pratitha purushottama. Yasmat, because, ksharam, to the fallible, atita, transcendental, aham, I am, aksharat, beyond the infallible, api, also, cha, and uttama, the best, ataha, therefore, asmi, I am, loke, in the world, vede, in the Vedic literature, cha, and pratitha, celebrated, purusha uttama, as the Supreme Personality. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that Supreme Person. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, neither the conditioned soul nor the liberated soul. He is therefore the greatest of personalities. Now it is clear here that the living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead are individuals. The difference is that the living entities, either in the conditioned state or in the liberated state, cannot surpass in quantity in quantity the inconceivable potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is correct to think to the of the Supreme Lord and the living entities as being on the same level or equal in all respects. There is always a question of superiority and inferiority between their personalities. The word Uttama is very significant. No one can surpass the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The word Loke signifies in the Purusha Agama, the Smriti scriptures, as confirmed in the Nirukti dictionary, Lokyate Vedhartho Nena. The purpose of the Vedas is explained by the Smriti scriptures. The Supreme Lord, in his localized aspect of Paramatma, is also described in the Vedas themselves. The following verse appears in the Vedas: Chandodaya Upanishad 8.12.3. Tavad Esa Samprasado Smak Charitrat Samayutaya Param Jyoti Rupam Sampadya Svena Rupena Bhinishpadyate Sa Uttama Purusha. The super soul coming out of the body enters the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Then in his form he remains in his spiritual identity. That supreme is called the Supreme Personality. This means that the Supreme Personality is exhibiting and diffusing his spiritual effulgence, which is ultimate illumination. That Supreme Personality also has a localized aspect as Paramatma. By incarnating himself as the son of Satyavati and Parashara, he explains the Vedic knowledge as Vyasadeva.
Yo ma 15.19 Yo mam eva asammudho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. Yeah, anyone who mam me evam thus asammudha without a doubt janati knows purushottama the supreme personality God sa he sarvavid the knower of everything bhajati renders devotional service mam unto me Sarva Bhavena in all respects. Bharata, O son of Bharata, whoever translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata. There are many philosophical speculations about the constitutional position of the divinities and the supreme absolute truth. Now, in this verse, the Supreme Personality of Godhead clearly explains that anyone who knows Lord Krishna to be the Supreme Person is actually the knower of everything. The imperfect knower goes on simply speculating about the absolute truth, but the perfect knower, without wasting his valuable time, engages directly in Krishna consciousness, the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Throughout the whole of Bhagavad Gita, this fact is being stressed at every step, and still there are so many stubborn commentators on Bhagavad Gita who consider the Supreme Absolute Truth and the living entities to be one and the same. Vedic knowledge is called Shruti, learning by oral reception. One should actually receive the Vedic message from authorities like Krishna and his representatives. Here, Krishna distinguishes everything very nicely, and one should hear from this source. Simply to hear like the hogs is not sufficient. One must be able to understand from the authorities. It is not that one should simply speculate academically. One should submissively hear from the Bhagavad Gita that these living entities are always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone who is able to understand this, according to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, knows the purpose of the Vedas. No one else knows the purpose of the Vedas. The word bhajati is very significant. In many places, the word bhajati is expressed in relationship with the service of the Supreme Lord. If a person is engaged in full Krishna consciousness in the devotional service of the Lord, it is to be understood that he has understood all the Vedic knowledge. In the Vaishnava Parampara, it is said that if one is engaged in the devotional service of Krishna, then there is no need for any other spiritual process for understanding the supreme absolute truth. He has already come to the point because he is engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. He has entered all the preliminary processes of understanding. But if anyone, after speculating for hundreds of thousands of lives, does not come to the point that Krishna is the Supreme Personality Godhead and that one has to surrender there, all his speculation for so many years and lives is a useless waste of time.
इति गुह्यमतं शास्त्रम् इदमुक्तं मया नघ एतद्बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. The Lord clearly explains here that this is the substance of all revealed scriptures, and one should understand this as it is given by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus one will become intelligent and perfect in transcendental knowledge. In other words, by understanding the philosophy of Supreme Personality of Godhead and engaging in his transcendental service, everyone can become freed from all contaminations of the modes of material nature. Devotional service is a process of spiritual understanding. Wherever devotional service exists, the material contamination cannot coexist. Devotional service to the Lord and the Lord Himself are one and the same because they are spiritual. Devotional service takes place within the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord is said to be the sun, and ignorance is called darkness. When the sun is present, there is no question of darkness. Therefore, whenever devotional service is present under the proper guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, there is no question of ignorance. Everyone must take to this consciousness of Krishna and engage in devotional service to become intelligent and purified. Unless one comes to this position of understanding Krishna and engages in devotional service, however intelligent may be he, in the estimation of some common man, he is not perfectly intelligent. The word Anagha, by which Arjuna is addressed, is significant. Anagha, O sinless one, means that unless one is free from all sinful reactions, it is very difficult to understand Krishna. One has to become free from all contamination, all sinful activities. Then he can understand. But devotion service is so pure and potent that once one is engaged in devotion service, he automatically comes to the stage of sinlessness. When one is performing devotion service in the association of pure devotees in full Krishna consciousness, there are certain things which require to be vanquished altogether. The most important thing one has to surmount is weakness of the heart. The first fall down is caused by the desire to the lord it over material nature. Thus one gives up the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Lord. The second weakness of the heart is that as one increases the propensity to lord it over material nature, he becomes attached to the matter and possession of matter. The problems of material existence are due to these weaknesses of the heart. In this chapter, the first 5 verses describe the process of freeing oneself from these weaknesses of heart, and the rest of the chapter from the 6th verse through the end discusses Purushottama Yoga. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 15th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Person.
पुरुषोत्तम योगा की जय. Chapter 16, text 1 to 3. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Abhayam Sattva Samsuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Tamascha Yagnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrota Tyaga Shanti Rapaisunam Daya Bhuteshu Aloluptvam Mardavam Hrir Achapalam Tejakshama Driti Saucham Madro Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Abhayam, fearlessness, Sattva Samsuddhi, purification of one's existence, Gnana, in knowledge, Yoga, of linking up, Vyavasthiti, the situation, Dhanam, charity, Damah, controlling the mind, Cha, and Yajna, performance of sacrifice, Cha, and Swadhyaya, study of Vedic literature, Tapa, austerity, Arjavam, simplicity, Ahimsa, non-violence, Satyam, truthfulness, Akrodha, freedom from anger, Tyaga, renunciation, Santihi, tranquility, Apaisunam, aversion to fault finding, Daya, mercy, Bhuteshu, towards all living entities, Aloluptvam, freedom from greed, Mardavam, gentleness, Hri, modesty, Achapalam, determination, Teja, vigor, Kshama, forgiveness, Dhriti, fortitude, Saucham, cleanliness, Adrohaha, freedom from envy, Na, not, Atimanita, expectation of honor, Bhavanti, or Sampadam, the qualities, Daivim, the transcendental nature, Abhijatasya, of one who is born of, Bharata, O son of Bharata. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy, and freedom and from the passion of for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men, endowed with divine nature. Purport: in the beginning of the 15th chapter, the banyan tree of this material world was explained. The extra roots coming out of it were compared to the activities of the living entities, some auspicious and some inauspicious. In the 9th chapter also, the Devas are godly and the Asuras, the ungodly or demons, were explained. Now, according to Vedic rites, activities in the mode of goodness are considered auspicious for progress on the path of liberation, and such activities are known as Daivi Prakriti, transcendental by nature. Those who are situated in the transcendental nature make progress on the path of liberation. For those who are acting in the modes of passion and ignorance, on the other hand, there is no possibility of liberation. Either they will have to remain in this material world as human beings, or they will descend among the species of animals or even lower life forms. In the 16th chapter, the Lord explains both the transcendental nature and its attendant qualities and the demoniac nature and its qualities. He also explains the advantages and disadvantages of these qualities. The word Abhijatasya is in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadana Samskara. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that. In Bhagavad Gita, we have studied also before that sex life for begetting a good child is Krishna himself. Sex life is not condemned, provided the process is used in Krishna consciousness. Those who are in Krishna consciousness at least should not beget children like cats and dogs, but should beget them so that they may become Krishna conscious after birth. That should be the advantage of children born of a father and mother absorbed in Krishna consciousness. The social institution known as Varnashrama Dharma, the institution dividing society into four divisions of social life and four occupational divisions or castes, is not meant to divide human society according to birth. Such divisions are in terms of educational qualifications. They are to keep the society in a state of peace and prosperity. The qualities mentioned herein are explained as transcendental qualities meant for making a person progress in spiritual understanding so that he can get liberated from the material world. In the Varnashrama institution, the sannyasi or the person in the renounced order of life is considered to be the head or the spiritual master of all the social statuses and orders. A Brahmana is considered to be the spiritual master of the three other sections of a society, namely the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Sudras. But a sannyasi who is on the top of the institution is considered to be the spiritual master of the Brahmanas also. For a sannyasi, the first qualification should be fearlessness, because a sannyasi has to be alone without any support or guarantee of support. He has simply to depend on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If one thinks, after I leave my connection, who will protect me? He should not accept the renounced order of life. One must be fully convinced that Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his localized aspect as Paramatma, is always within, that he is seeing everything and he also knows what one intends to do. One must thus have firm conviction that Krishna as Paramatma will take care of a soul surrendered to him. I shall never be alone, one should think. Even if I live in the darkest regions of a forest, I shall be accompanied by Krishna, and he will give me all protection. That conviction is called abhayam, fearlessness. This state of mind is necessary for a person in the renounced order of life. Okay, finished.
No, what? Give it to Prabhuji.
Then he has to purify his existence. There are so many rules and regulations to be followed in the renounced order of life. Most important of all, a sannyasi is strictly forbidden to have any intimate relationship with a woman. He is even forbidden to talk with a woman in a secluded place. Lord Chaitanya was an ideal sannyasi, and when he was at Puri, his feminine devotees could not even come near to offer the respects. They were advised to bow down from a distant place. This is not a sign of hatred for women as a class, but as a stricture imposed on the sannyasi not to have close connections with women. One has to follow the rules and regulations of a particular status of life in order to purify his existence. For a sannyasi, intimate relations with women and possession of wealth for sense gratification are strictly forbidden. The ideal sannyasi was Lord Chaitanya himself, and we can learn from his life that he was very strict in regards to women. Although he is considered to be the most liberal incarnation of Godhead, accepting the most fallen conditioned souls. He strictly followed the rules and regulations of the sannyas order of life in connection with association with women. One of his personal associates, namely Chota Haridas, was associated with Lord Chaitanya along with his other confidential personal associates. But somehow or other, this Chota Haridas looked lustily on a young woman, and Lord Chaitanya was so strict that he at once rejected him from the society of his personal associates. Lord Chaitanya said, for a sannyasi or anyone who is aspiring to get out of the clutches of material nature and trying to elevate himself to the spiritual nature and go back home, back to Godhead, for him, looking toward material possessions and women for sense gratification, not even enjoying them, but just looking forward them toward them with such a propensity is so condemned that he had better commit suicide before experiencing such illicit desires. So these are the processes for purification. The next item is Gyan Yoga Vyavasthiti, being engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. Sannyasi life is meant for distributing knowledge to the householders and others who have forgotten their real life for spiritual advancement. A sannyasi is supposed to beg from door to door for his livelihood, but this does not mean that he is a beggar. Humility is also one of the qualifications of a transcendentally situated person. And out of sheer humility, the sannyasi goes from door to door, not exactly for the purpose of begging, but to see the householders and awaken them to Krishna consciousness. This is the duty of a sannyasi. If he is actually advanced and so ordered by a spiritual master, he should preach Krishna consciousness with logic and understanding. And if one is not so advanced, he should not accept the renounced order of life. But even if one has accepted the renounced order of life without sufficient knowledge, he should engage himself fully in hearing from a bona fide spiritual master to cultivate knowledge. A sannyasi or one in the renounced order of life must be situated in fearlessness, sattva samsuddhi, purity, and jnana yoga knowledge. The next item is charity. Charity is meant for the householders. The householders should earn a livelihood by an honorable means and spend 50% of their income to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. Thus, householders should give in charity to institutional societies that are engaged in that way. Charity should be given to the right receiver. There are different kinds of charity, as will be explained later on. Charity in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Charity in the mode of goodness is recommended by the scriptures, but charity in the mode of passion and ignorance is not recommended because it is simply a waste of money. Charity should be given only to propagate Krishna consciousness all over the world. That is the charity in the mode of goodness. Then, as far as Dhamma, self control, is concerned, it is not only meant for other orders of religious society, but is especially meant for the householder. Although he has a wife, a householder should not use his senses for sex life unnecessarily. There are restrictions for the householders even in sex life, which should only be engaged in for the propagation of children. If he does not require children, he should not enjoy sex life with his wife. Modern society enjoys sex life with contraceptive methods or more abominable methods to avoid the responsibility of children. This is not in the transcendental quality but is demoniac. If anyone, even if he is a householder, wants to make progress in spiritual life, he must control his sex life and should not beget a child without the purpose of serving Krishna. If he is able to beget children who will be in Krishna consciousness, one can produce hundreds of children, but without this capacity, one should not indulge only for the sense pleasure. Sacrifice is another item to be performed by the householders because sacrifice requires a large amount of money. Therefore, in other orders of life, namely Brahmacharya, Vanprastha, and Sannyas, have no money. They live by begging. So, performance of different types of sacrifice is meant for the householders. They should perform Agnihotra sacrifices as enjoined in the Vedic literatures, but such sacrifices at the present moment are very expensive and it is not possible for any householder to perform them. The best sacrifice recommended in this age is called Sankirtan Yajna. The Sankirtan Yajna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, is the best and most inexpensive sacrifice. Everyone can adopt it and derive benefit. So these three items, namely charity, sense control, and performance sacrifice, are meant for the householder. Then Swa-adhyaya Vedic study is meant for brahmacharya or student life. Brahmacharis should have no connection with women. They should live a life of celibacy and engage the mind in the study of Vedic literature for cultivation of spiritual knowledge. This is called Swa-adhyaya. Tapas or austerity is especially meant for the retired life. One should not remain a householder throughout his whole life. He must always remember that there are four divisions of life: Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyasi. So, after Grahastha, householder, one should retire. If one lives for 100 years, he should spend 25 years in student life, 25 is householder life, 25 in retired life, and 25 in renounced order of life. These are the regulations of the Vedic religious discipline. A man retired from household life must practice austerities of the body, mind, and tongue. That is the tapasya. The entire Varnashram Dharma society is meant for tapasya. Without tapasya or austerity, no human being can get liberation. The theory that there is no need of austerity in life, that one can go on speculating and everything will be nice, is recommended neither in the Vedic literature nor in Bhagavad Gita. Such theories are manufactured by show bottle spiritualists who are trying to gather more followers. If there are restrictions, rules, and regulations, people will not become attracted. Therefore, those who want followers in the name of religion just to have a show only don't restrict the lives of the students, nor their own lives. But that method is not approved by the Vedas.
As, as far as the Brahminical quality of simplicity is concerned, not only should a particular order of life follow this principle, but every member, be he in the Brahmacharya ashrama, Grihastha ashrama, Varnaprastha ashrama, or Sannyasa ashrama, one should be very simple and straightforward. Ahimsa means not arresting the progressive life of any living entity. One should not think that since the spirit spark is never killed, even after killing of the body, there is no harm in killing animals for sense gratification. People are now addicted to eating animals in spite of having an ample supply of grains, fruits, and milk. There is no necessity for animal killing. This injunction is for everyone. When there is no alternative, one may kill an animal, but it should be offered in sacrifice. At any rate, when there is an ample food supply for humanity, persons who are desiring to make advancement in spiritual realization should not commit violence to animals. Real ahimsa means not checking another's progressive life. The animals are also making progress in their evolutionary life by transmigrating from one category of life to another. If a particular animal is killed, then his progress is checked. If an animal is staying in a particular body for so many days or so many years and is untimely killed, then he has to come back again in that form of life to complete the remaining days in order to be promoted to another species of life. So their progress should not be checked simply to satisfy one's palate. This is called ahimsa. Satyam. This word means that one should not distort the truth for some personal interest. In Vedic literature, there are some difficult passages, but the meaning or the purpose should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. That is the process for understanding the Vedas. Shruti means that one should hear from the authority. One should not construe some interpretation for his personal interest. There are so many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita that misinterpret interpret the original text. The real importance of the word should be presented, and that should be learned from a bona fide spiritual master. Akrodha means to check anger. Even if there is provocation, one should be tolerant, for once one becomes angry, his whole body becomes polluted. Anger is a product of the mode of passion and lust. So one who is transcendently situated should check himself from anger. Abheshunam means that one should not find fault with other or correct them unnecessarily. Of course, to call a thief is not fault finding, but to call an honest man a thief is very much offensive for one who is making advancement in spiritual life. Hri means that one should be very modest and must not perform some act which is abominable. Ajabalam determination means that one should not be agitated or frustrated in some attempt. There may be failure in some attempt, but one should not be sorry for that. He should make progress with patience and determination. The word Tejas used here is meant for Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas should always be very strong to be able to give protection to the weak. they should not pose themselves as non-violent. If violence is required, they must exhibit it. But a person who is able to curb down his enemy may, under certain conditions, show forgiveness. He may excuse minor offenses. Saucha means cleanliness, not only in mind and body but is one's dealings also. It is especially meant for the mercantile people who should not deal in in the black market. Nate Manita, not expecting honor, applies to the Sudras, the worker class, which are considered, according to the Vedic injunctions, to be the lowest of the four classes. They should not be puffed up with the unnecessary prestige or honor and should remain in their own status. It is a duty of the Sudras to offer respect to the higher class for the for the upkeep of the social order. All these 26 qualifications mentioned are transcendental qualities. They should be cultivated according to the different statuses of the social and occupational order. The purport is that even though material conditions are miserable, if these qualities are developed by practice by all classes of men, then gradually it is possible to rise to the highest platform of transcendental realization.
दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधापर्युषमेव च अज्ञं चाभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदम् आसुरीं Dambha, pride, Darpa, arrogance, Abhimana, conceit, Cha, and Krodha, anger, Parushyam, harshness, Eva, certainly, Cha, and Agyan, ignorance, Cha, and Abhijatasya, of one who is born of, Partha, O son of Pratha, Sampadam, the qualities, Asurim, the demonic nature. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, ignorance, these qualities belong to those of demonic nature of son of Pratha. In this verse, the royal road to hell is described. The demoniac want to make a show of religion, advancement in spiritual science, although do not follow the principles. They are always arrogant or proud in possessing some type of education or so much wealth. They desire to be worshipped by others and demand respectability, although they do not command respect. Over trifles, they become very angry and speak harshly, not gently. They do not know what should be done and what should not be done. They do everything whimsically according to their own desire, and they do not recognize any authority. These demonic qualities are taken on by them from the beginning of their bodies in the wombs of their mothers, and as they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities.
tall are you? Come. Think you're about this tall. Yeah. Try this. What do you have to do? How much time do I have to do Hare Krishna? Why did we stop not at 9:15? 7:15. Huh?
Other Prabhu wanted to go.
Oh. Come on, sing the. How much time do I have to do Hare Krishna? Just tell me. Usually Hare Krishna, yeah. Until Prabhuji comes out and does the bell, Ganta. Until Prabhuji does the bell, sing Hare Krishna. Okay? Okay. Now? Hare Krishna. Yeah. Now. You're not ready. I am. Go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sing properly. Please. Okay, sure. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Faith, repeat. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. What? No, just put it back. Put it back. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Ramo, Ramo, Ramo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Prabhuji, I don't need. Yeah, okay. You can put it there. I just don't. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Guru Bannamui Savadana Mate Jahara Prasade Bai E Baba Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Ho Jaha Hoite Guru Mukha Padma Vagya Chitete Kariya Kya Arana Kari Ho Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati Shri Prasade Pure Sarva Asha चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से निर्विज्ञान द्रुद प्रकाशित प्रेम भक्ति जहा होते अविद्या विनाश जते वेद गाय जहर चरिता Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Jenara Bandhu Loknath Lokera Jivana Ha Prabhu Korodoya Deha More Padachaya Evegas Gusukri Bhuvana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Jaya Guru Deva Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Neti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Visesya Sonyavadi Pashatyadi Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaur Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. The lotus feet of our spiritual master is the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is that my consciousness purified by the urge emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my heart birth after birth. He opens my dark and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic Brahman emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scripture segments character of spiritual masters is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. We take the shelter of your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take the shelter of your lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
It's okay. Put it down. Put it down. Or you can put it. Abhi, let him go first.